Vietnam, 1969. A Marine sniper faces hundreds of enemy soldiers, less than 100 yards away.
I've got the reticle right on his forehead, and then as fast I can move from one to the next. It would just pow, pow, pow.
On target. Fire when ready. Say goodnight, fella.
From the time I touched that Remington 700, I was in love with it, and I wanted to be a sniper.
The sniper? Chuck Mawhinney. Most confirmed kills in Marine Corps history. Mawhinney's hunting ground, the Arizona Territory, South Vietnam. Nicknamed for its Wild West-style firefights. The environment is target-rich. Mawhinney's primary weapon, the M40 sniper rifle. Deadly up to 1,094 yards, the distance of 11 football fields. Valentine's Day, 1969. Mawhinney is on a collision course with hundreds of North Vietnamese soldiers.
And there was a monsoon coming in. We had a large NVA force reported by aircraft moving towards our position. And they said, I can't get air support for you because of the monsoon.
Most sniper engagements are single targets at 300 to 1,000 yards. Mawhinney faces the possibility of multiple targets within 100 yards of his position. Mawhinney swaps his trusty bolt-action M40 for his secondary weapon, a semi-automatic M14.
The M14, you put a magazine in, it's a semi-automatic weapon, so it automatically feeds. That's less time for getting a new round in the chamber and ready to fire.
Night falls. Mawhinney and his spotter conceal themselves at their final firing position, or FFP. Their hide overlooks the shallowest part of the river, the most likely crossing point. The river runs from 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock, providing a natural barrier between Mawhinney and the enemy. A small mud bank at 12 o'clock offers protection from small arms fire, but allows a clear field of view. Brush and foliage from 3 o'clock to 9 o'clock provide concealment. Mawhinney's spotter is responsible for security in this sector. If the mission is compromised, the Marines' escape route is at 5 o'clock. Mawhinney's Eye, an AN/PVS-2 Starlight scope, a passive night vision system activated by ambient light.
Everything's in a real green tint through the starlight, and light things will show up brighter than others, like a face and skin and hands. It really lights up through the scope. You gotta have some kind of external light for the starlight to work. If it's just pitch black, you can't see anything.
Mawhinney scans the river for any sign of the enemy. Mawhinney waits for the NVA to appear. He mentally visualizes his field of fire. The kill zone is roughly the length of one football field. Mawhinney assigns distances to his closest and farthest shots.
You're in a position where you don't have time to do an equation or get a proper range, then it's range guesstimation. Chuck was not sitting there and doing calculations. This was basically swagging it. We call it a scientific wild-ass guess, a swag.
Mawhinney dials in or dopes his scope for 50 yards, point of impact.
He's out in the middle of nowhere by himself. He's got his friendly forces to his rear and the enemy to his front. So he's in the middle. If they rush and get across the river, he has very little chance of escaping and evading.
South Vietnam, Valentine's Day, 1969. Marine sniper Chuck Mawhinney and his spotter set up an ambush along the Phu Bon Song River. Less than 100 yards away, an NVA battalion heads straight for them.
So I wait until the first guy gets up just about knee-deep in the water. I've got the reticle right on his forehead. Just as he gets up, I pull the trigger. And he goes down. And then as fast as I can move from one to the next, it would just pow, pow, pow. They don't know what to do, and they don't know what's happening, and they're just frozen in the river. And I'm just going from one to the next, to the next, to the next, and you can see the hats fly up, bodies start going down the river. Well, I shot 16 times. 16 went down the river.
Mawhinney stops the enemy, but he violates the sniper's cardinal rule. Never fire more than 2 shots from a single position. The hunter is now the hunted.
That's a lot of shooting at night, which tells everybody where you're at. You could hear rounds coming our direction. I told my partner it's time to get out of here, so we beat feet back.
16 shots, 30 seconds. Mawhinney vanishes into the jungle. Each round Mawhinney fires leaves the muzzle at 2,800 feet per second, more than twice the speed of sound. The bullet rotates at approximately 200,000 revolutions per minute, propelling it into the target in less than half a second. The enemy is dead before he hears the gunshot.
I was in such a zone, I would look through the rifle, but I'm the bullet. Where'd I gotta hold this rifle to get me where I want to go? That was the only thing that was in my mind at that time. All of this happens all at once, and it just becomes natural.